When I first started R6 in 2018, it was fun, but now it's just misery. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the issue, right? Is that the game has kind of lost touch with what it used to be. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because a game should be looking to evolve and to differentiate and to change. But it's important to try and change for the better. And I feel like the direction that Siege is going in is definitely not for the better. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. I don't think it's as simple as like Melusi sucks. Like this, I think I can go quite in depth with it. And I think one of the most frustrating parts that I feel like I've been voicing so many different solutions and possibilities and ideas how to make the game better. And maybe for every 100 things I've suggested, one thing gets taken into consideration. And every time one gets taken into consideration, every 10 gets actually introduced. What I'm saying is that I say a lot of things that might help and very little gets heard. I'm not saying that I know the game best and what I think is the solution, but I do think that because I'm in the unique position that I have a lot of people that watch my stream and they also share their frustrations, I feel like I have a very good idea of what a lot of people want because they share the same frustrations. And some of my frustrations are actually because other people have told me about them. Like, people would really like to have a content transfer. And what that means is that people that play on console can get their accounts on PC with the same skins. And I don't give a shit because I already have a PC account. But what about the console players? Why should you start over from scratch after spending 5 years and hundreds of dollars in the game? Why should you buy the game again and buy all the skins again? And some skins you can't even get anymore, right? And I didn't know that was an issue, but my chat told me, and like, yeah, that's an issue. And I'm aware that not everything can be fixed. Like, you can't fix it all, but I also feel like we're not really fixing anything. So at least we could start by doing something, you know what I mean? I know the game is hard and the coding and it's not easy. Like, I've heard the story 1,000 times, right? But we can definitely do more. Why don't we have developers go into with a webcam and talk about the changes they make and, you know, all that kind of stuff. That could better the game, basically, and the health of the game. Reloading. And help people understand what is possible and what isn't possible. I'm taking this. I have full faith in my teammates. I'm gonna stun him. Nice. Poor guy. Poor guy. The thing about profit as the issue that kills quality? Well, it's not that simple, because couldn't you argue that quality improves profits? If people like playing the game and if a lot of people are playing the game, you're making more profit than if they don't, right? And I can give you a very direct example right now, this moment. This is the Steam charts. And again, I've said this a billion times. We went from 120k players to 70k in June. Now we're at 75. We're growing. That's good. Like, this is really good. But wouldn't you say that the game being good long-term and sustainable is more profit than just pushing for profit? Because by pushing for profit, you lose growth. As long as your game is good and fun, you will have new players coming and old players staying. But if the game is constantly miserable to be part of, or at least for the majority of players, or for some players, it is. Especially people that, like, if I don't like the game, it has a bigger impact if Bob, who lives down the street, doesn't like the game. Because Bob will go on Twitter with 2 followers and he'll be like, I don't like the game anymore. You know? And it's not like I'm bigger than him or he's less than I am. But if I don't like the game, thousands of people will see it. Because they see me play the game and not having fun. And I will tweet about the game not being fun and they will be like, yeah, I know the game isn't fun. Like, I agree. Maybe we should quit, you know? And it just builds like this really negative atmosphere where I don't want to play the game, then my viewers don't want to watch me play the game because I'm not enjoying the game, and then they might quit the game. Like, a lot of my old school subscribers, they don't play the game anymore. Some of my long-term viewers don't play the game anymore, but they still watch the stream. A lot of my friends who I used to play with don't play anymore. I know that people have quit the game because I feel a massive void on my friends list. I can't find 5 stacks, you know? The grind isn't there anymore. So I just don't think it's that simple. One-shot headshots are great, but holy smokes, and don't die. And as I've said before, like, HyperScape was a game that they just announced, Ubisoft. they're doing a lot of the things that we want in Siege in that game already, because they've had Siege as like a way of getting feedback. So, you know, because Ubisoft made the same game, they'd be like, okay, what did we make, like, what did we fuck up with Siege and how can we fix it for this game? And as a Siege fan and as a player and my career, I look at it and I go, damn, we can't satisfy the Siege fan base, but we can satisfy a new game's fan base with features that we've been given feedback on via Siege. And that really sucks. Yeah, you can join, Jack. That's the hard part. Like, I think HyperScape's a good game. I kind of want the game to succeed because I think it's great that Ubisoft gets more positivity in their mind, like in their surroundings. But the one reason why I don't like HyperScape, the only reason in fact, is because HyperScape is what Siege should be. Not a PR game, don't get me wrong. Not a free-to-play game, don't get me wrong. Can you add me, Zach? I'm on Kaizen. But they have a practice range. They've already nerfed half the guns based off feedback that they were too strong. They've changed the gadgets, or the hacks as they're called, 3 of them because of feedback. They've already made a developer post where the developers are sitting down in front of a camera talking about the changes. They're doing hardware bans in that game. That's the things that I want in Siege. And Siege has had 5 years to achieve it. And we're not even close. We don't even know if it's even happening. And this game already has all of those things and more. And that's where I hate the game. I hate the game because I envy the features that they have. Like when Valorant came out, I saw the practice range they had. It's so simple. And it's exactly what Siege should have. You can argue that you can do it way better than Valorant did as well, because it's not amazing, but it's a lot better than Siege, right? Or at least if Siege developers don't want to make a training mode because it's an issue, why not make Terrorist Hunt into a proper practice mode? Remove the barbed wires, remove the C4s, right? At least try and make Terrorist Hunt as good as possible until we get that practice mode. Because, fun fact, and I'm not even kidding, a vast majority of people would use the old house to Terrorist Hunt on. It was the best map for it. It was small. There wasn't that many C4s, not that much barbed wire. It was pretty good. Then they reworked the map. It's not even in ranked. They don't even want it to be in ranked. They want it to be a casual map, and I think that's fine. But you're taking their only way of warming up, removing it entirely. You're not even giving us the old map in Terrorist Hunt to warm up on, and you don't replace it with anything. So now there's another void. Now we've gotten a new house, which nobody fucking asked for, and we can't do Terrorist Hunt anymore. Or at least a lot of people have a hard time finding a replacement for it. Some people played plane and stuff, like Shaq who plays plane. I don't personally enjoy it at all. I loved playing house. I've spent hundreds of hours streaming myself terrorist hunting on house. Right? So you can't take that away without giving us an alternative. You really can't. Not without hurting yourself. And it's those small things that have a huge impact, because it's just like another thing that's bad. I think that's the biggest issues I can come up with. King George hates the new house. Everyone does. It's garbage. And it sucks for T-Hunt. And I think it's fine they reworked house. I don't think it makes sense to rework a map with the intention of it not being viable in ranked or comp play, because let's be honest, if you're spending that much time and resource and an entire DLC map on a map that's reworked, it should be in ranked. Outback is in ranked. It shouldn't be in ranked, but house is not gonna be in ranked because they specifically made it to not be in ranked. That's weird. That's really, really weird, right? Yeah. Because I'm paying for a season pass.
Protect the bombs.
I'm expecting to get a map every season because they promised we would get it. And the map that they made is not gonna be in ranked. I paid money for it, arguably. Not really, you know what I mean? And even if I didn't pay money for it, I still think it's a bad decision, because you want to have as many people as possible enjoy the map. And by not putting the map in ranked, you're not getting as many people as you could. Because ranked players will hate it, pro players will hate it, casual players might even dislike it too because they don't like it. They might also like it, but to be honest, I don't think I've seen that many people say they do like the new map.
10 seconds left. down to 5
And free
seconds.
gang. Ad block, ad block.
You must protect your bomb.
It needs some new level designers. I agree. And I don't want to shit on anyone's careers. But I do agree that Siege needs some new level designers because they're all way too similar. And they all have a lot of the same issues. The HyperScape game is a better training mode than Siege. Better? You mean they have one? Because we don't have one at all. And I know. That's what I don't like about it, right?
Last stop standing.
Obviously, I'm fucking biased as tits, right? I want my game to be the best game. I don't want HyperScape to be the best game.